As soon as Facebook wakes up, let's see, we'll be on. Yeah. And, as soon as Facebook wakes up. Now I did something weird here. Let's see. Okay. And just to get up the, I got on Facebook here. I need to get okay, so we're on, and it's the first day of September, and I'm very, very glad to begin the live number 165 with my dearest friend, great bass player, and I call it for a long time in this bass playing road. Then Stiffe, Stiffe. That's how I say your name,
Well, in Norwegian, I would say Stiffe, but
Stephen.
I've been called a lot of things, so you can say it any way you want. I'll respond to most of it.
uh, it sounds like me. I'm also being, high, ray, and 10,000 different ways of ray spelling.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, and because the ray has the Y, so people write Sonia with the Y, which is
Yeah.
not. But yeah, as you, I got used to answer to whatever.
When I lived in America, it was Dan Stiffe.
Dance style, yeah.
Yeah. So you say what you want.
But Stephen sounds,
Yeah.
great. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And well, last time we met was in Norway, right?
Yeah.
In Oslo. And
It's my academy.
yeah,
Exactly.
you kindly let me use your bass for a week.
Were you there recording, playing concerts or
Yeah, I was
recording?
recording at the Haldalen at this studio of a friend of mine, which is a great sound
Yeah.
engineering. My trio recorded that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And it's not out there yet because he had some problems. We had some problems with the grant we
Okay.
were supposed to receive to finish that, and everything was suspended in Brazil that year, and we're still trying to uh, get the money. We get this grant, but we didn't get money.
But
So
it's a recording sort of mixed and done. It's finished. If you get the money, it's finished to
yeah,
put out.
well, it's just we just need to finish the mastering.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not much, but we didn't pay anything because we were expecting this money for that
Yeah.
at that time, a couple of months, and we ended up having to pay some of our expenses for traveling
Okay.
and not getting reimbursed. So it's and then we're waiting. They promised for the government promised for next semester, next year, and then came the uh, quarantine times. Everything is completely suspended. We don't expect to see that money anymore. We're just thinking, organizing ourselves to actually pay for the
I think even here, I think my country is one of the lucky ones that it's not hit that hard. But of course, there are so many musicians and artists struggling today, freelancers that they've lost all their work for at least half a year, or if not more, and
yeah.
they're really struggling just to survive. I mean, I'm I at least have some income through the Oslo Philharmonic and through the academy. So many other people has it much worse than me.
Oh yeah, all the those our friends. They're freelancers.
Yeah,
They're really in bad shape, and
yeah, they
it's
are.
yeah.
But because we all, in a way, we all notice it in a way, because this summer I should have done 3 CD recordings, and they're all, of course, not happening. and no one knows if or when or what's going on. So they just sort of put on indefinite hold at the moment.
Yeah. Well, but let's talk about your wonderful playing. So at the beginning of until right before we had this virus situation, you're about to premiere a concerto. Did that happen?
The premiere happened, and I premiered that concerto in with the Beethoven Orchestra in Bonn, in Germany, with the composer as a conductor, and it was wonderful. It's fantastic, and people loved it. But we were supposed to record that concerto this June that just was now, and of course that didn't happen. So, but the premiere took place, and it's a really nice piece, and hopefully we can do this later at some time.
And you told me once that you're part of this group that commission pieces, right? Concertos, because you do quite a bit of commission, right? And how you want to talk about how it works? How
I probably commissioned, I don't know, I haven't counted, but at least 40, 50 pieces altogether, and that's everything from solo pieces to duos, chamber music, concertos with orchestra. I mean, it's a whole thing. So in Norway, we've been lucky recently because there are some grants in Norway, state grants, that are supposed to support the arts and support both commissioning new pieces, giving concerts, and record. But lately, it's gotten every year it's sort of been tightened, and the money has gotten less and less, as it has done maybe in many countries. So now it's not as easy anymore to needed to get money to commission or to money to record. It hasn't stopped completely, but we have a government that's it's not very. It has other priorities than the arts at the moment.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But I've been very
It could be a lot worse.
yeah. I've been very lucky in a way because I've approached many composers and asked them if they could be interested in writing some stuff for me, and no one has so far said no. So, and when I've been able to find money for them, it's happened, and most of those pieces I've premiered and recorded, most of them, not everyone, but most of, and I still have some composers waiting and want to do, but at the moment, I mean, with the situation with the corona and with money and everything, and it's no one knows exactly. Everything is sort of in limbo at the moment, and no one really knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, and this grants, they are specifically for double bass, or they
No.
also other instruments also?
You compete with everyone, so they give these grants. The government gives a certain amount of money to the foundations or grants, and then they have a commission, a jury that reviews all the applicants, and of course there are many more applicants than there are money, so many don't get. So you have to have a good project and a project that they believe in will be realized in a new piece or a new recording or a premiere or something. So they need sort of have a date and a set project to consider it. But you still compete with singers and violinists and anything else. So
And what about the scores? Are they also being available?
yeah, many of the scores, most of the scores are available for. That's also part of what I do it because since I teach at the academy, I see that we needed, of course, as you know, needed also new repertoire, new music for also for the students and for.
Sure.
So most of those scores are published and available to academies to buy or for students to get, or unfortunately I haven't been able to put them out free of charge, but they are available. Yeah,
Oh,
even
cool.
the big even
Is that a website that we could go for this for the music or I mean the music is on your YouTube channel, right?
yes, but no, that's a good idea. Unfortunately, I have not done that. I probably should, because I mean I know where all the music is available, but of course it's in so many different places that maybe it would be a good idea to put this all together on a site. Good idea, Sonia. Thank you. I,
Well, you know, if you have ideas, I have ideas, just don't have the time to make
yeah, I know.
1/8 of my ideas, but you know,
But
ideas.
of course, for students, it would be great, or other players,
Yeah,
because
well, it's nice even if they're not free. It's nice to know, you know, how to read them.
and
With so many.
these are all level. I mean, there's some really easy new beginner pieces, and there are some really horribly difficult, and everything in between. So like, there should be something for everyone.
I know. I've seen some of your performance at ISB. You only play hard stuff. Boy.
Wow. I'm getting older also, so I'm sort of calming down a bit.
We wish, right? We wish to come down, but
Yeah, I know.
you know, being also commissioned the pieces for my trio. We only play. I mean, we choose to play Brazilian music,
Yeah,
but all living composers. So it's nice, isn't it? That you can talk to the
fantastic.
composers and exchange ideas and stuff.
Well, I think that's the process of being part of it. Of course, they do the composing, but they come and want to try out things, and they want to see what works and doesn't work, and being part of the process, I think is wonderful, and both I and the composers hopefully learn a lot from it.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. Well, I have a friend coming in that's a harpsichord player, professor at the University of São Paulo,
Hmm.
in Campinas. Edmundo said, "Hello, it's nice to be back after a long time off." Not so long, Edmundo. He was in the early music week. That everything is online at the same time these days, right? It's good to see
Yeah,
you too. So I'm receiving here my great friend Dan Stiffe
very good, very good.
from Norway, and it's been talking about our favorite stuff, Edmundo, which is contemporary music.
Yeah,
So and at the academy, I didn't get to visit the whole thing, but the part I saw, it's a nice building now, nice installments you have in there.
well, it's one of the few state academies in Oslo, so it's really completely supported by the government and the Norwegian state. So of course it does quite a lot. It gets quite a lot of funding and housing but that also got tighter because we have two houses now and they're overfilled. So my academy is trying to get a third one, and because the academy now has a classical department, but it also has a jazz department, and it has a folk music department, and there has been so many new additions of students and doctorates and researchers and everything. So it's just overfilled. But at the moment, there are the priorities is not for the arts at the moment. They're taking care of all this corona and everything else, of course. So no one knows when that's going to happen.
But you in touch with your students like online or everything is
Excuse me, Osmo?
Are you connecting your students to the academy online? You
we
taking
we are
lessons?
now. We are now. Norway shut down March 12th, I think, and for the first month, nothing happened. But after that, we started to teach online, um, Zoom or Skype, and so every student got a weekly lesson. Plus, we had class lessons on Zoom, and we did it that way that all the students recorded a video, 5 to 10 minutes video that they put online, so all the other students can see it beforehand. And we met all in this Zoom group and played and heard and discussed. And of course it's not the same as live, but we
It works.
did the best we could with it. Now the academy, end of June, the academy opened up completely for live teaching, and now we started the season again. So, but now they tightened down again, so we can teach one-to-one, and they can play chamber music, and they can play with their accompanists, and uh, orchestra is difficult. Large ensembles and large groups are difficult.
Mhm.
But they let us into the housing and the building, but they do not let any other people into the house except students and teachers. So if I was trying to have a rehearsal last week with someone else, but no, that's completely locked down and closed down. So, but for us teachers and students, we can use it at the moment.
And how about the orchestra? You guys are back? Somehow?
That was also the same. We also closed down beginning March, and for 2 months at least, nothing happened. But since we are also lucky in the way that we are also our state orchestra, so they didn't let us go. They didn't use us for 2 months because of, well, health risk. But by the end of May, we started to stream concerts without audience, but for small groups like chamber music or chamber orchestras, but nothing more than 12, 14 people in the ensemble. But
Uh-huh.
it was streamed internet, and no one in the hall. Now, after the summer, we started up season 2 weeks ago, and now we're allowed to play full orchestra on stage as long as we have minimum 1 meter distance between every player in the orchestra.
Mhm.
And we're allowed to have an audience up to 200 people, no more.
Oh, okay.
So we have a concert hall that normally we have 1,500, and now we're allowed to 200, and they're sort of spread out, it's all over the place. But at least it's nice to be able to play for a live audience again.
Yeah, yeah. My good friend there in Darwin, and it's far away from Oslo, but he said that they 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 had like 2, 3 cases of corona there, and then they start opening and open everything, and now they got over 1,000 people, and
Yeah,
they're closing everything again.
yeah.
So, and it's not even the second round. So I wonder how it's also doing in that situation. You guys opening everything. Is this how is this going?
It was more or less opening most of things, not everything. Almost all schools are open. Universities and children's schools and everything are open. Um, some sports are open and some sports are not open. Training studios, all those kind of where people gather. But now restaurants and bars are open as long as they can keep. There's a lot of checking from the authorities, but as long as they can keep a distance of, right now it's 1 meter. As long as they can do that, they
Mhm.
are allowed to be open. But they close. alcohol, serving alcohol is closed at midnight every night, nothing after. Then they're sort of trying to control what's going to happen so that people don't drink too much and get crazy.
Oh, at
But
least you can stay home with this wonderful chocolate you guys have.
yeah,
I would be like 3 times my size if I'm in Norway. Boy, that chocolate, it's something.
but most of the society was open, but now many countries in Europe are on the rise again, back in more virus, and many of the countries have closed down now, and Norway has closed down its borders again to many countries, so many visitors are not allowed in. We're not allowed to take any visitors. I had quite a few exchange things that was going to happen, both with students and other professors, but at the moment all that is frozen. So they're really trying to control what was coming in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing that we talk a lot here every day is how you getting the energy or the inspiration to practice or to do the creative projects, because some people are so depressed, and of course we are very upset in a way for what's happening in the world.
Of course, I have to say, the first weeks, the first period right after it closed down, it was a bit difficult, and I saw that many people had a difficulty to keep the motivation and keep the spark and keep the energy and keep going. But after a while, I think many people realized that they needed to find sort of first of all, they needed to find some kind of routine again, get life going and getting back into music and practicing. What I've done is, in the period, especially when I didn't play orchestra or teach, I've been working on my projects, and I've been having contact with composers, and trying to outline new contracts projects that hopefully will happen when all this is calming down again. So I think it's the thing of finding a focus on what you can do and what you can do in the future, and starting to work on that now is one way of doing it. And I see so many people, also bass players, they've used the time to put out a lot of stuff on recorded and put out a lot of stuff on internet and YouTube and this thing we did with the online bass convention. I mean, stuff like that is important, and I think, in a way, unfortunately, but I think more things like this is going to have to happen in the future before all this is finished.
Yeah, it seems like this. We kind of adding things to our routine that are gonna be there even after we pass
Yeah,
the virus problem, right? Because we don't really enjoy teaching bass online, but a lot of those resources are gonna be, added to our routine in a way that.
I think so. I think some of those Skyping and some of this online it has come to stay in a way.
Yeah. For me, the recording, not only for students, but for myself, the habit of recording myself is something that I didn't have. Like recording, think I'm going to post this.
Yeah,
It's different if you're recording, oh, let me see how it is. But no, I'm recording because I'm going to post it. It's
yeah.
different. And
It
it's,
is.
it's making my own self-conscious and my technique to get better. And
Well, I think that's what we have to do in this situation. We have to. I mean, it's a difficult situation, but we have to try to find a way to do the best out of it and the most creative things out of it for the future.
yeah,
But I know I've seen, of course, many people have gotten depressed. Many students, they're at my academy. There are quite a lot of foreign students exchanged. Some of the people made it out and got home to their countries when they closed down, but some people stayed here, and I think they have had a quite lonely time. And some of them even didn't have an instrument to practice on because they couldn't get into the academy. It was all closed down. So I think some of them really were struggling when the close down was at its worst.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm curious, so students that go to Norway, they're mostly from what part of the world? Like from Europe or Asia?
It, it's all over the place. It's from Shanghai, China, Eastern Europe, America, uh, England. It's not really all over the place. It was, but it's a bit strange with Norway because all tuition in Norway is free. They don't pay anything. Even also foreigners, they come in and they pay a symbolic fee,
Mhm.
but living in Norway is expensive.
It is.
Very.
Boy,
So for
I
people,
spent 15 days, I think, or 12 days in Norway. And
yeah.
boy, it was expensive.
So for students to come from abroad, they really have to think twice to do it. Just also because of the economical situation, because they get some help from, they can get some student loans and they get some help from the state, but of course it's much more expensive than many of the other countries they come from.
But on the other way, on the other hand, I see driving through Norway because I took a drive from Oslo to Hotdalen,
Okay.
and during the winter. But it was like sightseeing on postcard all the way through. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. It's
It's a
like
really, nature is fantastic, and also the summer. I mean, light, and of course we don't get the heat that they do down in South Europe, but it can be quite nice.
yeah. Well, it was in the winter, so I got a lot of snow, which
Yeah.
is okay for me because I lived in Iowa, so snow it's okay. I
Yeah.
can drive in snow, no problem. I enjoyed it, but it was fun because when I was up in north, like after Troken, I think I don't know, I saw a bear in the mountains.
Yeah. Wow.
Driving. I
Yeah.
saw a big bear, and it was so black, although it was snowing, but I could see that black thing moving, behind
Well,
the tree.
the nature here is really very much still alive. It is. Nor they're trying. I mean, it's a quite big country area-wise, but there are not many people living here if you compare it to other
Yeah,
countries.
and the water, when you pass by those lakes, the water is
But it's
so.
cold. The water is cold.
Oh, but I only saw it. I
Yeah.
didn't step my feet there. So it's great to look.
Yeah, it is.
And those two wonderful things, like the sightseeing and the chocolate. Boy,
Oh, you like that?
I'm not a big sweet eater, but when you talk chocolate, it's great.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I have to say I agree with you.
I don't buy it at home. That's
Yeah,
the way I don't eat. I don't buy it. So if I really, really want to eat it, I go outside and I pass and I buy and I eat on the street because
yeah.
I cannot stay. If it's at home, I'm gonna find a way of eating it right away.
Well, I have some children at home, and they seem to find their way with the chocolate into the house somehow. So so it's there.
Well, I can't blame them. It's so good. But anyway, it's uh, well, it's great to being able to talk to you a bit, and to know how
My
things are
my
going.
pleasure. Thank you, Sonia, for asking me. And I hope the possibility to meet in Nebraska next year will come. You never know what's going to happen until then, but hopefully it's going to be a better situation.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. and then I still want to come back to Norway. And
Yeah,
who knows?
do.
I'll do something at the academy.
I'll buy you some chocolate.
That would be nice of you. So you're gonna make me gain all the weight back. No, no. Hopefully we're gonna meet. So thank you so
Of course.
much to talk to us, and stay safe.
You too. Take care of yourself.
And we talk soon
Of course we
again.
will. Bye,
Take
Sonny.
care. Bye,
Later.
people. See you tomorrow.